Hey, it's John from Click Convert Marketing. Quick confession, guys, before we dive in. When I first filmed this, I tried to cram everything into this one massive video. It was way too long, so I've split it into two parts and I'm shooting a fresh intro. And yes, if you're wondering why I'm not wearing the same grey top as the last video, it's currently in the wash, still recovering from part one. So, if you've already watched part one of this Stop the Bleed series, you've prioritized your worst campaigns by spend, CPA and ROAS or ROI. You've locked down the big setting leaks, locations, networks, time of day, language and devices. So in this video, part two, we're going inside those campaigns. We're going to clean up your search terms, build proper negative keyword filters, kill off bad keywords and products, turn off weak ads, and decide which ad groups and campaigns should actually live or die. This is a bit of a hands-on stop the bleed process. There's no rebuilds, no fancy strategy workshops, just proper cleansing so your existing budget stops leaking and starts working harder. If you haven't seen part one yet, you can still follow along, but you'll get a much better results if your settings are already sorted. I'll link to the video in the description below. If you don't know me, I'm John Langley, founder of Click Convert Marketing. Our niche is Google Ads with our Perfect Repeatable Ads. I've generated over 1.5 billion, I know there's a lot of zeros, for businesses in the US and the UK. I'm nearly at 500 subscribers, so please click the subscribe button again. I dare you, I just need 50 more, so come on, do us a favor, do that. Right, with all that out of the way, let's jump into search terms and negatives and start cleaning up the traffic that you're actually paying for. We need to now move inside the campaigns. I would pick your worst performer, one that we got from the priority list. Open it up, pick an ad group or an asset group of its performance max. Now we're back at the triangle. We've got budget there, we've got our offer, but we've also got our traffic. Now we're looking at the traffic, the actual words people type into Google, and these are known as search terms. And the question is this traffic clean, or are you paying for search terms that are completely inappropriate? You need to go to Insights and Reports on the left-hand side of your Google Ads, and then into the search terms report for that ad group we're looking at. You can do it at campaign level. So step two, we need to add negatives. Your job now is to cleanse that traffic. So go down the search terms list and start adding negative keywords. I've got another video that goes deeper into negative keyword strategy, so I won't try and cram it in here. But the key principle for Stop the Bleed is don't just add everything as an exact match negative keyword. Where you can, add broader negatives. So it acts like an umbrella catching more keywords. I've got a simple example. If you sell oak flooring, but the search term report shows mahogany flooring and teak flooring, then you don't want to be manually adding thousands of negatives in there for every time you see a mahogany or teak related one. You want to add mahogany as a broad negative. You want to add teak as a broad negative. And that allows you to cut out a huge chunk of irrelevant traffic with only two keywords. And as you're doing this, you'll notice the same bad keywords reappearing across multiple ad groups or campaigns. At that point, what we need to do, if we keep seeing consistent repeating search terms that we don't want, we need to move up a level and we need to create a shared negative keyword list that can be used across multiple campaigns. And if we find out that we've got truly universal negative keywords, we need to add them as negative keywords at account level. If you're constantly seeing free PDF jobs and DIY and none of that traffic is irrelevant, you can go and add, say, free and PDF as a negative keyword at account level. You could also create a shared negative keyword list if you see lots of terms like job seekers coming in as well. Another shared list that I probably would advise you to do, let's say you sell auto parts and you only do cars or vehicles from 2000. You can nip over to ChatGPT and ask it for every year from 1900 to 1999 in a plain list, paste that into a negative keyword list, call it old years, and now you've got these three layers of filtration. You've got ad group level, campaign level negatives, you've got shared negative keyword lists like our years, and we've got account level negatives. And that alone can transform the quality of your traffic. At this point, you've gone back a few months and you've really done the work. Your traffic should be a lot cleaner. You've looked at it, okay? So now we can start working up from the bottom. we can start looking at keywords. Go back to the keywords and ask a very simple question. Is this keyword actually relevant to what this ad group is supposed to be about and what the ads are promising? It's the same with signals as well in Performance Max. And if the answer is no, just pause it. With PMax, you're going to have to delete it, of course. But on a normal search campaign, don't delete it because you can't get it back easily. You'll lose the history on it. And we're not into the rebuilding phase yet. But if it's clearly wrong, you shouldn't be funding it. Now, what we need to do is we need to repeat the same pattern with products. Look at your Performance Max listing groups and look at your shopping campaigns and the shopping ad groups. This is often where lots of people think they've done some clever segmentation. They've got one there for some premium products you do. But when you actually open it up, they've left everything else in there in that product group. They haven't just segmented. You've got all the products that they're supposed to segmented, and they've got everything else in there. So they're showing every other product from your entire catalog. And if that's the case, first check where the actual conversions are coming from. If everything else is where most of the sales are coming from, then you need to make a note of this. You may have to pause the other products in there and leave the everything else ones running. So this is our first pass through the stop the bleed process. Go through the products. Pause the ones that are spending and not converting. Treat them exactly like bad keywords. Now, we've got to look at our offer. And this is where the ads and landing pages come in. Again, remember, this is to stop the bleed. This is not restructuring. We're not rewriting every ad in the account. We're going in and we're turning off stuff that is obviously not pulling its weight. So, in each ad group, go over to the ads, look at the ads side by side. Keep the ones that have a higher CTR. They have better conversion rates. They have lower CPAs or higher ROASes. Pause the underperformers. How are you going to invest the money on these ads? And we only want to back the high performers. And this is where you can also do a basic relevancy check. The keywords you're bidding on should actually appear in the ads. That will help improve the quality score. There should be a clear connection. There should be keywords, ads, and landing page. They should all clearly relate together. That improves your quality score and that directly reduces your costs. Quality score is how Google ensures there's a great match between the keywords, the ads, and the landing page. And if you've got a great match, you pay less. If you've got a poor match, you pay more. To be honest, I do think it's an easy way for Google with just one control to increase their revenue as well. Just lower your quality score and bang, click costs are higher in there and your profits have just gone through the roof. But yeah, you got to keep an eye on that. Now landing pages. The landing page is ultimately responsible for the conversion rate. I don't care what anybody says, it's the landing page's job to convert. It's not Google Ads' job. Google Ads' job is to bring you high quality traffic. And if that traffic hits a page with weak or confusing pricing, a vague offer, no attempt to handle objections, then that's on the page. It's not on the ads. I could do a whole separate video just on landing pages, but for Stop the Bleed, I just want you to at least check, does the page talk about the same thing as the ad and the keyword? Is the offer clear? Why should anybody buy from you? Make it very clear. Is the pricing clear? Do you address the obvious yeah, but objections that your customers are always going to have? If not, you're killing all this good work you've done in the account by you're just destroying it on the landing page. So once you've cleaned the traffic, you've pruned the keywords, you've tidied the products, you pause bad ads, you get a much clearer picture of what's actually going on. It's only now that you're really beginning to understand the account and see what's happening. Now you can ask, can I actually save this ad group? And often you'll find ad groups where the keywords are a mess, the search terms are awful, the ads are weak, the products are wrong. And yes, you could spend hours trying to nurse them back to health. But this is a first pass. It's a stop the bleed pass. And the right move can often be just simply pause that ad group, the asset group, or even in the worst case situations, just pause the campaign. If the ad group is just burning money, pause it. Pausing it will lift your overall ROI because that budget now can flow better into the areas that have got a better ROI. And then we can zoom out this next level up to campaigns And if you make sure you've got columns like conversion value cost, conversion value in there, you can actually see what's really happening in the campaign. Now, if you've got limited budget, and to be fair, a lot of people do, then you have to make a choice. Do you keep spending that budget across a range of mediocre campaigns, or do you turn off the losers and move the money into the 1 or 2 campaigns that actually perform? It's as simple as just backing the winners. And if you've got a campaign that's limited by budget and it's got a good ROI, and you've got another one over here that burns money, it's not a hard decision. And that's the strategic part of Stop the Bleed. It's deciding which campaigns you actually invest in and which ones you stop funding. So that's the Stop the Bleed process. We start with the big picture, which campaigns are actually bleeding the most. We work down through settings, search terms, keywords, products and ads. And then we back up through the ad groups and to the campaigns, and with a much clearer view, we start making hard decisions about what stays and what goes. I suppose one of the things I don't speak about here, I suppose it's the same with staff as well. Often if you have a member of staff that's failing, and as business owners, you'll all know this, you often hang in too long there. We really should have made that cut earlier on. And it's exactly the same with Google Ads accounts. You're looking at these campaigns and you're thinking they're going to turn around, but no, you need to be a bit more decisive, cut them earlier. And when you do this properly, your CTR goes up, the quality score goes up, your CPCs drop, your traffic gets cleaner, and you're putting your best offer and your best products in front of the people most likely to buy. All without rebuilding the account from scratch. Just think about that. And this is just the initial cleanse. Once you've stopped bleeding, then we can move on to stabilize and scale. I'll come on to that in our next few videos. But all we've done is we've checked the tool set, the conversions right, and we've done this Stop the Bleed. So now we can start thinking about stabilizing, planning, strategizing, and then we can scale in the next steps in the campaign. So if you're looking at your own campaign right now in your account, you're thinking, yeah, I've probably got a few of these bloodbaths going on, then here's what I would suggest. Just pick one campaign, your worst offenders on CPA or ROAS. Run this Stop the Bleed checklist on just that one, and then watch what happens to your numbers over the next few days and weeks. As ever, if you're struggling with these and other Google Ads issues, we at ClickConvert are always here to help. We've got a free ads review that you can take. It will be eye-opening for you. You can find out what's really happening in your account. There'll be a QR code on the screen, so you can just scan the QR code, or as ever, you can go visit clickconvertmarketing.com to go and book your free Google Ads review. You can call us up and book a review in one of the experts here. Please hit subscribe if you want to see the next part of the Perfect Repeatable Ad System as well, and I'll see you in the next video, guys.